Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Devon never confessed during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? So in this timeline, Miyagi will still make it to the Seikai Taikai. Miyagi will still have to knock the other dojo off the platform, but Miyagi wouldn't do so well. Johnny will still be disappointed in his students, but the Miyagi students wouldn't want to listen to Johnny. In this timeline, Devon wouldn't confess to Johnny. Miyagi would still have to fight out Dublin Thunder. Robbie and Sam will still start off, and they would fight their opponents, but Robbie would still be distracted by Tori, so he would still be knocked off. So Devon would join Sam on the platform. Devon and Sam would still fight their opponents. The fight would continue, and Sam would still be knocked off. So Hawk would join Devon, and much like in the original timeline, Devon would still sacrifice herself to save Hawk. So Dimitri would join Hawk on the platform. Hawk and Dimitri would still fight their opponents, and Dimitri would still knock Hawk off the platform, and he would also be knocked off. Miguel would finish the fight, so Miyagi would win, and much like in the original timeline, Carmen would still be rushed to the hospital, and Johnny and Miguel would have to leave, and Danny would call for Anthony to take Miguel's place. Anthony and Amanda would arrive in Barcelona, and Daniel and Sam would be happy to see them. The Miyagi students would still go explore Barcelona, and they would still be at the tapas bar. This is when the Cobra Kais would show up, and Sam would still go outside to get some air. Quan would still want to mess with Robbie, so Quan and Robbie would start to have a rivalry. Zara would notice the connection between Tori and Robbie, and she would still want to mess with Tori, so those events would stay the same. Sam would still be walking down the beach, and she would still run into Axel. She would still compliment Axel on his kata, and the interaction between Sam and Axel would stay the same. Eventually, Miguel and Johnny would come back to Barcelona, so the Seikai Taikai would continue. So Anthony wouldn't get a chance to fight in this timeline, but he would still go and watch the Seikai Taikai in person. Miyagi would still fight Furia de Pantera. Dimitri would still start off, and he still wouldn't be doing so well. So in this timeline, Dimitri would tag in Hawk. Hawk would continue the fight, and he would get a point, and Hawk would tag in Sam. Sam would continue fighting, and she would still get a point, so Sam would tag in Devon. Devon would continue fighting, but Furia de Pantera would get a point on Devon, so Devon would tag in Miguel, and Miguel would get the final point, so Miyagi would beat Furia de Pantera 3-1 in this timeline. And during the next team match, Miyagi would fight Redentores. Miguel would start off, and he would tag in Hawk, and Hawk would land the first point, and he would tag in Dimitri. Dimitri would continue the fight, and he would get the second point, and eventually he would tag in Robbie. Robbie would continue to fight, and he would get the final point, so Miyagi would beat Redentores in this timeline, and they would still advance in their matches. So Miyagi and Cobra Kai wouldn't face off. The Seikai Taikai would continue. Cobra Kai would still fight Tiger Strike, but in this timeline, Cobra Kai would be focused, and they would beat Tiger Strike. So both Miyagi and Cobra Kai would make it to the semifinals. Season 6 would continue. The semifinals would begin. Quan and Diego would still fight, but Quan would still defeat him. Zara and Maria would fight, but Zara would still defeat Maria. Axel would still fight Robbie in the semifinals, and that fight would stay the same. Axel would still knock Robbie back, and Quan would still hit Robbie. Miguel would still be mad, and he would go confront Quan, but Axel would knock Miguel back, so Miguel and Axel would want to fight. Gunther would see that the Seikai Taikai was getting out of hand, and he would want everyone off the mats, but this is when Sensei Ivanov would knock Gunther out, and the brawl would still happen. Miguel would be angry, and he would fight Axel, but Axel would be able to knock Miguel back. Miguel would try using his defense, but Axel would get through it. The brawl would continue, and the season was still in the same way. Quan would still want to stab Axel, but Axel would sweep Quan's leg, and Quan would still land on the knife, so Quan would still be stabbed in this timeline, and everyone would be shocked. And that is where I'm gonna end this What If. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Devon ever confessed during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.